Welcome in, everyone. This was like such an anticlimactic start to a stream. There's like no music on the start menu or anything, so it's like super quiet and super weird. But welcome into our very first look at Strange Antiquities, the sequel to Strange Horticulture, released today, available on Steam, and I also believe it's available on Switch and things like that. Let's have a little look at the description. We'll go over it. So, become the custodian of a store dealing in occult antiquities. Explore the quaint and gloomy town of Undermere, where strange goings-on and dark mysteries abound. Find and identify arcane artifacts. Use your collection to aid the townsfolk with their unusual problems. And remember to pet your cat. So I thought I'd go and have a little look at the kind of options that are available to us. So I've turned... thank you for the resub, Lindsay.
JT3 hype, JT3 animated hype.
Thank you, Lindsay, for resubbing. Very much appreciated. I turned on auto labeling. So for those of you that have played Strange Horticulture, the labeling is a faff. So I've turned auto labeling on. Zoom is set to press and hold. Shift. You can also have it to toggle zoom on and off. So we'll see how we go with kind of the default setting on that one. I've kind of not touched anything here. There are spiders in this. I'm not turning arachnophobia. Spiders are visible right now. So if I turn it off, we should see spiders. I'm going to keep it off for now. And then sound, I've got everything set to 100 for now, and we'll see how we go when we jump into the live stream. And then controls are pretty standard. So WASD, shift and middle mouse is your magnifying glass, left mouse to interact, and right mouse to closer inspect items. And we're playing in English, obviously. But enough of the boring stuff. Let's jump in and try out Strange Antiquities. Oh, how boring. I thought it would jump us straight in. Now we're jumping in. As a thaumaturge's apprentice, there is a lot to learn. Every object must be treated with care, and it is important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the mild. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop Strange Antiquities in my hands. None of us knew that by then the pendulum was already swinging with a terrible certainty that could not be stopped. And I have played Strange Horticulture, Sassy, yes. The ravens were an omen, a circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed even then to signal the start of a rising dread. Ooh. Day 1, Thursday. Why are we starting on a Thursday? I don't like that. So, it's up. The archive is up there. I have a growing fear deep within me. I cannot let it take hold. Interesting. There's loads of things up here. So, the thaumaturge, Eli White. Eli is a thaumaturge, a collector and curator of powerful objects. Objects that to the untrained eye may appear dull and lifeless, but that in the right hands and armed with the right knowledge can be a gateway to so much more. For Eli, the quest to unearth and understand each new object has been the driving force of his adult life. As owner of Strange Antiquities, Eli is a stern master. He knows firsthand what can happen if the right precautions are not taken. He doesn't tend to show much emotion, but he does have a more tender side, a side that is mostly reserved for the store's cat, Jupiter. And this is Jupiter, Devourer of Souls. Jupiter is the thaumaturge's cat, or more accurately, Eli is Jupiter's thaumaturge. Jupiter found Strange Antiquities, perhaps drawn to the curiosities within, and made it his home. Eli was more than happy to accommodate him, but he learned only early on that Jupiter was his own master. His business is his own, but it largely consists of regular naps, terrorizing rodents, and midnight explorations of Undermere and beyond. What he does on his excursions is a mystery, but he seems to be well known among the town's residents. I have been called away to assist in an urgent matter in Ravenglass and must leave at once. I am leaving the shop in your care with some reluctance, I might add. Make use of my reference materials. Here, take this. Do I put it down here? Ah, I see. There's an index in the back that may be useful to you. If in doubt, study it carefully, and remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry to any locked doors, drawers, or cupboards. In fact, safest not to touch anything at all. I should be back in a few days. Use the arrow keys or WASD to navigate your shop. Oh, so we've got a lock cabinet up there. Some scales, some very scary looking items. Should we open the book and have a look? Index. Interesting. We haven't pet the cat yet either. Maybe we should. Aww. How cute. And let's ring the bell. Thomas Pope. Congratulations. Today is the day you meet the great Thomas Pope. That's me. I'm a man of two loves. Fresh mountain air and a little white dog called Hamish. But I reserve some room for laughter among friends and shops with cats in them. If you would be so kind, I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Use right click on items to inspect them. So let's have a look in the book. A hunter's boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. They are made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those from the deadliest predators being the most prized. They are simple items without embellishment. Okay, I'm just seeing if there was anything else in here that like might have helped us, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, so we're looking for a hunter's boon. Oh, this is so different to before. Move the cursor over the different parts of the object to inspect it. Iron, grey metal, flecked with dark red. It's not rust, it's blood. Raise detailing. A substance flakes off and leaves marks on my fingertips. I have nothing to remark on sound. It has an energy about it. It fills me with a sense of foreboding. I thought at first it was bone, but it is in fact clay. Okay, so it's not going to be that then. Yellowy brown. It's a yellowy white color. Looks like a tooth, right? Gives me a sensation of power. So I think that's our best choice so far. The like what looks like to be a tooth. Because if we go back to the book, it says they're made from trophies taken from slain beasts. Simple items without embellishment. I'm going to risk it for a chocolate biscuit and go with that. This is a tiger's tooth, a trophy from a predator. On closer inspection, it gives a sensation of power. And we've got new book content. Selenic totems in the book. You can add labels to items while inspecting them using right click. Luckily, I have the auto label on already. Jack Hungerford. The nights are drawing in again. Dark shadows hide dark deeds, or so my father always used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since the past 2 winters gone. A creeping dark has set up in my house. I'm told a shadow hold will draw it out. Just to check with everyone in chat, Is the audio sounding good to you guys? So you can hear the music in the background and the mic sounds okay and everything like that. Perfect, cool. A shadow hold or Shadic vessel is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or a bottle or some sort of box. It can be used to contain an Oshadic spirit, the manifestation known as Creeping Dark. Pulling it from the shadows like poison from a wound, they are decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. This, potentially? Bronze. Raised detailing. My heart feels lighter. I don't see anything else that's like a box. And that kind of matches the kind of design. So I'm going to go with that. Oh, we were wrong. That wasn't the item I'm looking for. I should slow down and think this through more carefully. Oops. Maybe that? Made of clay. These markings have been carved in. Pungent smell. Nothing to remark on perception. So yeah, it must be that, the bottle. Shadow hold. The item is a container of some kind. The design on the bottle is the same as the sketch. And we got some more content for the book. Yeah, we already know about the auto-labeling. We turned that one on already. David Schaefer. What's with all these ravens flying about Undermere today? I can't remember ever seeing anything like it. Not a good day to be the sort who believes in dark omens. A letter for you. We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boat yard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked her to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. They look old, maybe there's nothing of much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry on the shin. Charlie Weathers. I think we can put that into the archive, right? And then we should be able to like explore. Before you could use a map and you could like explore, but maybe we can't do that now. Oh. There's weights in that cupboard. Interesting. Stanley Hume. I want an Ossic ring. Ossic. That's a pleasing word to hold on the tongue. These somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Caution, but the practice fell out of favour as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but they are occasionally sought out for their ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say that they can hear Caution's unearthly hiss when they hold an Ossic ring up to the ear. Nothing to remark. Sound, nothing to remark. I'm just kind of looking for like the sound that it mentioned. Nothing to remark on sound there. A soft sound like a serpent's whisper emanates from within. So I think it must be that. There we go. And some more content for the book. And another... So the ornithologist, Edmund Bishop, The 14th Lord of Gleeston Castle is a man of wealth and privilege like the 13 before him. He is a man who would be easy to despise, as his father was, but he is well loved by those who know him. Now retired, he was a professor of ancient languages at the University of Cumbria, but his real passion is birds. His students learn to divert particularly dense lectures on Latin declension by asking about local owl species or by quizzing the professor on increasingly exotic bird calls. Excuse me 1 second. This is a really wordy game to be playing when you have a cough, apparently. Edwin was only too happy to oblige, spending hours recounting stories of his adventures in Africa and New Zealand. The behaviour of these ravens is disturbing, to say the least. As a rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivores, carrion eaters mostly, but they'll take anything they can get their talons into. And they'll kill if necessary. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there and I'd like to know what. Thank you, Lindsay, for redeeming Hydrate. I only have my bottle of Pepsi with me. A voice of Kananos might help me put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. The name Voice of Kananos is used to refer to any bronze talk that has certain imbued properties. With skill, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Kananos is a pagan god of the forest and nature, typically depicted as a man with the antlers of a stag and often wearing or holding a talk. So they're made of bronze. So that's bronze, we know. I think. Gold. Got gemstones in it. Raised detailing. This is bronze. Why are you tusking me, Lindsay? What did I do? It's not this. My bet would be this. What do we think? Yeah, because he's wearing one here, right? Spirit Eye. There are some who stay away from spirit eyes, believing them to be a window into a world that should not be seen. Okay, we'll add that to the book. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach Backbarrow. Yes, Sassy, you tell her. At least I don't drink my soda with a straw. Oh, what is this? An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. I want to know... Oh, is... Ah, here. Explore. There we go. Okay, so I first of all want to explore that letter we put into the archives. So it said... in the boatyard. So boatyard would be number 8. The yard has seen better days. A mess of broken and rotten timber covers most of the outdoor space that isn't taken up by upturned boats, slowly being claimed by the weeds. In the middle of all of this, a man looks up from repairing a small rowing boat. "You must be from Strange Antiquities," he says with a smile. He takes me into the dilapidated office where 2 metal buckets collect drips of brown water and a thin window pane rattles with every footstep. He pulls a sheaf of brown papers out of a desk drawer and places them gently in my hands. Oh, some new content discovered. Apparently, as an afterthought, and somewhat reluctantly, the man gives me something else as I'm leaving. "I've no use for it," he says. "Don't even know what it's for." New item. Okay, so that letter now can go into the archive. And can we explore again? So, the prison. The old jail, 10. And he ran northwest to the first building he saw. So north would be that way, northwest would be that way, right? This was a mistake. Okay. Oops. And I want to look again now. The old jail. But no, oh, north, east, south, oh, northwest. I'm an idiot. That would be north. That would be west. That would be northwest. There we go. Apparently I don't know my north, east, south and west. The dilapidated warehouse is dark and imposing, and the struggling flame of my lantern does little to pierce its depths. I slowly search for its contents with a sense of despair, wondering if I'm even in the right place at all. When suddenly and unexpectedly I uncover something of value. More relieved than elated, I take the trinket back to the shop for further study and a warm drink. Do we like put these onto the shelves now? I guess we do. Verona Green. The Occult Scholar. Verona has been a constant in Undermere for as long as the streets have had cobblestones and the churches have had bell towers. She is respected and feared, which she revels in, and she is revered and admired, which she tolerates. Her knowledge of the occult world is second to none, and her expertise has steered the citizens of Undermere away from catastrophe on more than one occasion. The near misses of the Selenic Flame and the Woken Dendru are 2 such events that spring to mind. She is of the opinion that no problem is so great, no obstacle so insurmountable, that it can't be diminished by a properly brewed pot of tea. And I'm seeing something about a poll. So what in the poll? What happened in the poll? Someone update me. I was not paying any attention to what my lovely mods are currently doing in the chat. Well, that's just perfect. Undermere fizzing with fear over these ravens, and the thaumaturge has left his apprentice in charge. Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out the wrong side of the bed. These ravens have got under my skin is all. Please do let Eli know that I was looking for him next time you see him, and pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology. A book? Can I read it? I can. Oh Lord. I don't know that I like the fact that we now have something else that we have to worry about. What is this? On thaumic fields. All thaumic objects produce a field of sorts. Although invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over a thaumic lens. A diurnal field pattern. These fields are not fully understood despite attempts to study them over the years. Reminder, I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. Okay, so that's something to think about. Something tells me that this goes like In here, maybe? We don't know. There's some missing. It was 50-50 on if you drink soda with a straw or like a normal person. Well, if I'd voted, I would have tipped it over 50-50 because I would have picked drink it like a normal person. Okay, let's explore. So the cellar of the wine merchant next door. So strange antiquities is 29. So this must be the wine merchant. The proprietor, a Mrs. Cranmore, begrudgingly grants me access to the cellar when I explain that I'm from Strange Antiquities next door. Yes, we'll take the lot of them out of here, would you? I can't say no to Eli after all. He's done for me, but I don't like the thought of those unnaturals in my cellar. Three more items. Gonna run out of space on our shelves soon. I think that's all we kind of have right now. I don't know what these are at the moment. I'm sure that we'll pick something up on those soon. So let's bring in our next customer. Tess Sherwood. I feel paralyzed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. I heard a horn shackle might be the answer. Horn shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the years. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. Potentially this. Bronze. Ridged. Smooth. Ridged. I have a strong sense of being watched. Maybe not that. I don't think it's this. Hard and rough, engraved detailing. More commonly totems. It's not that, because that's made of gold. Don't think it's going to be that. Fossilized creature of some sort. Hard and ridged. Any ideas, chat? What do we think? This is where I get stuck on things like this. I didn't expect you to have any idea. What about you, Sassy? Do you have any ideas? Well, that's unacceptable, Sassy. We're looking for horn shackles. Horn shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. So I thought maybe this, because it's bone. I don't think it's this. Because it's not, I thought at first it was bone, but it's in fact clay, painted to look like bone. It fills me with a sense of foreboding. I mean, there is kind of a gem in this one. Definitely not this one. Do you think this one? I looked at this, but it's made of bronze. Like the face is smooth, but the horns are ridged. And I have a strong sense of being watched is a perception. Yeah, the deer is made of clay as well. Clay. Pointy. Nothing to remark on perception. This one's made out of wood. There's nothing in the book that states what it's generally made of, though. Nope. Not the necklace. This is a moon. This? I mean, we can try this one. It looks very much like the diagram, I guess. Okay, I'm officially stumped now. We think this. Oh, I'm in the red. We can't get it wrong again. This one's hard. I mean, I can ask for a hint. Are we going to go in with a hint at this stage? I'm looking for an item that has horns. I should inspect items with horn using touch to see if they have been worn smooth. Do we even have this item? It wasn't the deer, and we've just... Ah, Lord, okay. A deep fear has taken root. I must break the hold it has over me. I don't know what I meant to do here. Oh god, this is horrible. Stars can be any matching symbol. I don't like this. I got one snake. Come on, give me one more snake. Yes. Games of chance. I never do well when it comes to games of chance. Okay, so we're back to old Tess Sherwood again. The Horned Shackle. So we tried the deer. Let's look at this again. Oh, it's this. This part feels smooth. That was difficult. That was difficult. Okay, so what else do we have? Any letters that we need to look at? I don't think so. Oh, look. Here comes the postman. At least the weather's looking a little better out there today. And here's a letter for us. Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plough overturned a strange-looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours, for the right price, of course. Kind regards, John Royston. Let's go exploring to the farm. Greywick Farm, number 1. The scent of damp hay lingers in the air as crows pick at the muddy ground between weathered stone barns. The farmer lifts his gaze briefly, offering little more than a nod before turning back to his work. I don't think I'll find anything useful here. Really? Oh yeah, Greywick Farm. Oh, I'm an idiot. Royston Farm is number 30. 30, 30, 30. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of its value quickly evaporates, and after a lengthy negotiation, I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. Julia Braddock. I know, sassy. Lindsay didn't even notice. Ah, Jupiter, we meet again. Our paths crossed late last night on Princes Street. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark on important business, no doubt. I wonder if you can help me. I'm visiting my grandmother later and I wanted to bring her something. She lives all alone on the edge of town out on Clanbrook Road, and I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. I thought maybe a moon heart would bring her some comfort. There's an index in the back that may be useful to you. Selenic Totem. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling such as love or joy, and then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Indeed, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. So my thought is the owl with the kind of moon on its head. This also has a moon on it. So I'm kind of torn between the tree with the moon. Oh, this also has a moon on it. It feels warm. Hard and cool. The moon is warm. There's an owl in the picture here. Yeah, I am overcome by a warm, loving emotion. That's got to be it. Daisy Winters. A friend of mine, or former friend I should say, has been stealing jewellery from me. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, including one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying out for her to find that will teach her a lesson and make sure it never happens again? So a binding seed. I will need to make a choice here. There are no wrong answers, but my decision will no doubt affect the events in motion outside my shop. So a binding seed or a Zia. These items are made of 2 distinct materials representing the mentic and the wixic, the mind and the body. The winding path, the mind, is described by a spiral encompassing the body, the seed. A binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. Okay, let's have a look at the Zia. Worn about the neck to place them closer to the heart, these innocent looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia. They can be difficult to remove. Zias are made of any single material except wood or clay. They typically have no symbol or other writings upon their surface. I feel like the binding seed is the nicer one to go for in this instance. I just don't know if we have anything that would constitute a binding seed. My heart feels lighter. Well, it's not going to be that. I don't like how this makes me feel. I think this is going to be the binding seed. Oh, there we go. Emmett Burrows. They found a man just now in that house where all them ravens were. I wish I hadn't seen, but I did. He was sheet white, but it was his eyes that are going to give me nightmares. Owl black they were. It was like he weren't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Sedberg, and I'll be taking a libula to see us safely through. Libuli are purported to offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that a libula is not merely decorative, there is power in symbology, as the old thaumaturges knew well. Okay, so now do we look at some of these? Strength, maybe? Some of these descriptions are so damn vague. Just gonna see was trying to see if that was a potential, like, mark. I don't see it anywhere on here. Ah, witch sign. So it's not going to be that. That's something to do with a witch. What about this with the little, like, M? Wondering if, like, he's going to want something with protection. I reckon potentially that. The protection symbols on it. Nope. Heat. So that means heat. What does that mean? Heat and cold. Any ideas, friends? An imbuement of wisdom. What's the imbuement for wisdom? You think it's this one? Wisdom is like the... Oh yeah, the M. Well done, Lindsay. That was hard. A deep pain radiated down the side of the rider's head where he had sliced himself with a diverging hook, and his thoughts were scattered and torn. He could not see out of his left eye. Okay, so this is going to be something on the map, like some buildings that look like that. So let's close the books and look at the map. So we're looking for a stretch that looks like this. You're good at these? I'm rubbish when it comes to things like having to put shapes in. And it's going to be like whatever's marked in gold. My thought was potentially here, but... I don't think it's here. Kind of wish we could like rotate this around. Oh. You want to see Mill Lane? Yeah, I don't think it's Mill Lane. I think it's Prince's Street. I think it's down here. See, so like this fits into like this area. And then you've got the little bit that comes out here. So technically we'd be searching in this area here if we're going to go with the bit that's on gold. Look at that. There is a narrow gap between the two houses and I spy a small wooden chest wedged firmly inside. Slowly I manage to work it loose, and when it finally comes free, it shoots out onto the hard ground and snaps open, revealing its long hidden treasures. Francesca Robertson, the Doctor. Growing up, Francesca's father was her hero. When he died suddenly and tragically in a mysterious incident, nobody seemed able or willing to give her the answers she demanded, and she grew tired of being fed the same stories that she knew could not be true. As she entered adulthood, she learned how to find things out for herself, and what she learned opened her mind to a world she hadn't known existed, a world of occult maladies and dark articles. She learned about Tormund's paralysis, Hobbs' fear, and the Sapphire Curse, and she learned that these maladies could be cured. Good afternoon, no morning. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm Francesca Robertson, a doctor of sorts. I assume you heard about Mr. Hungerford. It seems to be the talk of the town already. I'm used to dealing with maladies of an occult nature, but black eyes are certainly unusual. I've heard of something like this before, but I don't see how it could be the same thing. Either way, I'm hopeful an Evercant will have some effect. These stone items weigh the same as a man's heart, according to popular myth. The truth is a little less dramatic, but the weight of these items is nevertheless important and should not stray more than a hair from precisely 1 pound. They are placed on the chest of those in a coma to draw them out. Okay, so we have a 1 pound thing here, and it's made of stone. So this is made of stone. So let's put this over here in this. So that's equal to exactly 1 pound. So that's my go-to right now. There's also this, which is lighter than a pound. The only other stone thing we have is that, which is heavier than a pound. So I'm going to go straight with that. Haven't pet the cat yet. Temperance Parker. I had a quiet chat with Edmund Bishop in the Guilty Ram last night. He's always got an interesting story to tell, but last night he was different. I can tell he's worried, which has got me worried too. I know it's not much, but I'd like a shield charm all the same. Generic charms of protection have little to offer the skilled thaumaturge, but can have some small effect, and a Shaddic spirit or a wandering shroud will not abide them, for example. Such charms make use of the art of symbology, an ancient and some would say primitive component of thaumaturgy. They can be made from a variety of materials, though rarely precious metals. So protection is that, and I think... What did I find earlier that had that mark on it? This. It's made of bronze. So that is a sign of protection on that. So that was my immediate thought. And I think I'm just going to try it. Ah, yeah. Well, it was worth a try. Because I thought that was what she was looking for, right? Protection, but... You think the thing next to the deer, this thing? It's made of gold though, which is a precious metal. And this is pearlescent blue glass. I did not mean to use the magnifying glass there. Rarely precious metals. Mundane elements. Truth, maybe? Is there anything with like the truth symbol on it? Don't know why I'm suddenly like moving so close to my screen. So it's gold, so it can't be that. Oh, this is a protection. A cheap metal of some kind, probably pewter. Because that was a symbol for protection. There we go. Hugh Langston. There's something I wanted to show you. It didn't look like the look of it. I didn't like the look of it, so I left it where I found it. What if it's cursed? It was hanging behind an old shed, all overgrown with ivy. Let me draw a quick map for you. There. Wonderful. What a useful map. Right, Sassy. It's time for you to, do your thing again. Something tells me down here, this bit here maybe. The shed is actually a wooden summer house that looks out over the pond, but it's clear that it hasn't been used in some time. Thick brambles claw their way up over one side of the structure, and ivy covers the rest in a mottled green cloak. I find what I'm looking for to the rear. Parts of the ivy have been torn away recently, revealing an amulet hanging from a rusted nail. Something else catches my eye as I reach for it, and I notice that there is another pendant hanging next to it, almost completely hidden by the ivy. Gonna move you up a little bit and then throw him in there. I can't tell if like these are items that we should be like putting up. I'm gonna say yes. Verona Green is back. Eli's picked a bad time to leave Undermere. I've come from the Hungerford house where I've been helping Dr. Robertson and looking for any clues about what happened there. There wasn't much to go on. I did find a shattered Ashadic vessel, but whatever did this was no creeping dark. There was a strange black stain on the flagstone floor that I didn't like the look of. And the ravens, very unusual, but at least they seem to have dispersed. I don't know what to make of it. I'm going to take a trip to Gleaston Castle to see if Edmund Bishop can shed any light on their behaviour. But first I would like a vestiger, whatever this is, we don't want it spreading. Vestiges can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence. Among other oddities, flames burn pale blue in their presence. The only thing I can think of is this. It's pale blue glass, right? Pearlescent blue glass. That is the worst clue ever. That is like, there is nothing there that would make you know what on earth it's talking about. Can you use a candle around it? Oh, that's a good shout. That changed, right? You so clever, Sassy. Two days earlier, the rider and his fellow adventurer were deep underground, exploring the tunnels below the Kirkhead Tower, when they made a discovery. Their elation at their find would soon turn to horror. A key. After a disagreement between two houses, I was buried behind lock and key. So there's lock house is number 7. "13 is Keystone Manor. So it's going to be one of these two. Lock and key. So I'm going to maybe go here. Wasting my time. Great. So it has to be here then. Nope, wasting my time again. The only thing I can think of is behind is here then. Oh yeah, because that would have been in front of. Damn it. I'm an idiot. A large flat slab of granite marks the otherwise empty field. It bears an inscription. On this spot in the year 1813, Arthur Key did shoot and kill the beloved horse of Wellington Lock. Buried at the foot of the slab, I find an unlocked chest containing a handful of legal documents, as well as a pistol and another item that catches my attention. Another new item. While the shop is still standing, that's something. Say what you will about Undermere, but this town is never quiet for long. I suddenly leave for a few days, and suddenly everyone's talking about ravens and curses. I'm going to need to find Verona to get up to speed on what's going on. At least I didn't come away from Ravenglass empty-handed. I can always rely on Quiet Susan to unearth an interesting trinket or two. We're really starting to run out of space for things. Edith Moore. I'm not a good person. I'm pushing away the only people I care about. Help me do better, please. I have to change, but I don't know how. What do you have that can help me banish inner demons and make the changes stick this time? Horn Shackle. Right side, it's already tagged. Look at you go. Now I have to read it again to understand why. Oh yeah, overcome personal demons. I would not have remembered that. The Evercant didn't snap Mr. Hungerford out of it, unfortunately. It's strange at times he appears almost awake, but he is deep in some kind of trance and I can't get anything out of him. He seems to be searching for something. I'm beginning to suspect this is beyond my skill set, but I'm not willing to give up so easily. Sleep vessel. The 6 points of a sleep vessel are said to represent the 6 Stormic disciplines: Selenic, Dradic, Noctic, Diurnic, Wixic, and Mentic. They help people to stay awake beyond any natural limits by storing their fatigue. Over time and repeated use, they become more and more difficult to handle, as though undreamed nightmares within are beginning to steep out. What is that? So 6 points. This has 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This also has kind of 6 points on it. Go back to the this box. This, you mean? Doesn't fit in there. That's the only 6-pointed thing I can see other than that. There is a darkness to it, as if it holds untold fears inside. I'm gonna go with this. I was right. I don't think we have what goes in there yet, but it has like 3 points down here and then 1 on the right. Altair O'Shea. Many years ago I owned a silent breath, but it was already old when I inherited it and its power died soon after. It's about time I replaced it. There are those that consider the White Heart a prize to be claimed, but there is no glory to be had from killing such a noble guardian of the forest. A silent breath Contains a small token taken from a living white stag. While the stag lives, the item will retain its power, allowing the bearer to sense danger before it arrives. This is all made of clay. So that immediately would be the thing that I assumed it would be, is the deer. I don't see anything else here that would, like, be close to that. Okay, that was too obvious, apparently. Anything made of horn? Or maybe hair? A white hair. Aha! A white hair. I've always wanted to try a Daedalus link. I have a personal interest in the celestial branch, so I'm not completely new to things, nor am I ignorant of the risks. And now I have a good reason for it. I need to take care of some roof repairs, and this would seem the safest way to approach it. A Daedalus link is a powerful object capable of producing a levitation field. The field is extremely fragile, however, so it would be prudent not to take risks. These items are surprisingly light in weight. Their designs vary, but they might point to some facet of flight, a feather, or the wings of a bird or insect, for example. Well, that's super heavy, so it's not that. My immediate thought was this, because it's levitating. But I assume that's really heavy. Oh no, it's light. Like, it weighs less than half a pound. I don't see anything else that's like bird. The only other thing is this. Again, it's relatively light. Yeah, I mean this... You think this one, maybe? Yeah. The ravens are back, I see. Looks like it's going to be worse this time. After speaking to Verona, I've come to extend an open invitation to visit Gleeston Castle. My family has lived there for generations, and I know there are artifacts that would be of use to you gathering dust in hidden corners. All I ask is that you stay out of the South Tower and the master bedroom. And run anything you find by me first, of course. Thank you, Lindsay, for redeeming Hydrate. Okay, so this is the map of Gleeston Castle. Here's something to get you started. Walk past the main staircase and turn left. Follow that corridor down to the end and go through the door to the left. There is a small plinth in the corner of that room with an item on it that you are welcome to. I never did like it anyway. So here's the main entrance, right? Walk past the main staircase and turn left. Follow that corridor down to the end and go through the door to the left. The plinth is not hard to spot in the corner of the room next to a small writing desk. A glass jar houses the object mentioned in Edmund's note. As I gather the item and turn to leave, my eye is drawn to a green book on the desk. The author's name is of particular interest. I pick it up and find Edmund on my way out, who encourages me to take it with me. I try to insist on paying for it at least, but he won't entertain the idea. Okay, so we have a new little statue and a book on gemstones. At the end of a long passageway, after days spent clearing away dangerous rockfalls, the duo came upon a chamber. In it, they found a small stone tomb, too small to contain human remains. So far, I think I'm preferring this to strange horticulture. I think. Okay, so I assume we're going to the map again. And I assume this is not for, is this for Gleeson Manor, do we think? Like, I mean, it covers that room perfectly. Yep. A portrait of some dead lord eyes me suspiciously as I enter the room and start absent-mindedly opening drawers. The room is cold and austere, and I'm about to leave when I spot a crate under the chest of drawers. This could be something. Oh my god. These are weighted. And they're all... This is the protection charm. What do we have with the protection? So we have that. There was something else that had the protection symbols on it. Where were you? What else had that damn protection thing on it? I'm sure something else had that symbol on it. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, my thought is that we probably have to match up this to the symbols. And there needs to be 3 of them. Oh, another letter. Not sure about this fog today. It's an eerie atmosphere out there, especially with those damn ravens back again. It's usually fierce black dogs I have to worry about, not big black birds. Better off inside, I reckon. The triangle has intrigued me ever since I first heard about it as a young boy. What caused the pine trees to grow like that? Did someone plant them? I know you'll at least have heard of it, but did you know this? I calculated the exact center point, and there's a small clearing there. It can't be a coincidence. What's more, there is a certain energy about it. Not entirely welcoming either. I wonder if you might take a look for yourself. Okay, let's have a look at that, shall we? The triangle. What are we thinking? Triangle has intrigued me ever since I first heard about it as a young boy. What caused the pine trees to grow like that? did someone plant them? Ah, up here. There's a triangle with pine trees. Sure enough, as I approach the centre of the curious triangular copse at the heart of Heath Wood, I come across a clearing. A tree that has been split in two stands in the centre. Sunlight breaks through and I take a deep breath of cleansing pine and earth. Almost immediately, I'm struck by a sense of ominous power, and my intuition tells me that there is something unusual here at the heart of the wood. I examine the broken tree and notice some strange markings carved into the trunk. Heart beating faster, I spot something else embedded in the wood. 3 pendants arranged in a triangle shape. Oh, I don't have room for all of these. I'm going to annoy Sassy by just putting them anywhere now as well. So this can go away. This letter can go into the archive. Gus Foley. It has been many years since I performed the rite of the red knives, but I can still remember every step. I'd do it one more time before I die if I could only get my hands on an Orford spire. I tried that place in Arnside and they sent me here. During the rite of the red knives, an Orford spire is fully submerged in ghost blood for 9 days and 9 nights. When performed correctly, the rite is said to impart vitality and clarity of thought, although perhaps not for the goat. It's not rust, it's blood. It's got to be this. Hey, Kalate, welcome in. Nice to see you. Oh, Eli's back. I need to go away for a few days again. The Order of the Black Veil will have the information I'm looking for. They seek to understand the world beyond death, drinking an elixir that sinks them into a deep trance. If I'm right, they may be able to shed some light on these events. The only problem is, I burned that bridge long ago. Could you hand me that Guise of Lillian? It won't be the first time I've used one to get around their hatred of me. These items can allow the bearer to pass unrecognized. If used for any length of time, the wielder can begin to lose their sense of self. The remains of bygone creatures have been used in thaumaturgy for centuries, from petrified teeth and bones to trilobites, ammonites, and devil's toenails. A Guise of Lillian is one such item that makes use of this ancient source of power. Has to be this, that has the fossil in it. Oh, a new person. Rebecca Rose, the artist. Rebecca's eyesight deteriorated very quickly several years ago, and now she is just barely able to distinguish dark and light. It requires so much reading and so much remembering of things, and my short-term memory is rubbish, so I would have been lost without people in chat helping me out. But yes, it's I think once you start to look at your items more than once, you start to know what they do. But it definitely requires you to really think about what you're doing, 100%. This affliction has robbed her of the thing that brought her the most joy in this world, painting, and yet it has not robbed her of her determination or her kindness or her love of life. When she learned of strange antiquities and that it might hold a way to restore her sight, she was hesitant. She never did anything without careful consideration, but eventually her desire to paint again won over, and she decided the risk was worth taking. Me smooth brain, me no thinking. Right. Hello, oh, is that a cat? My eyes have completely gone now, but it's good to know I still have my cat senses. I do hope I'm in the right place. It's Lindsay when she's old. My daughter told me about a shop that specialises in unusual items. My life's joy has always been painting. Without that in my life, I'm afraid I'm at a bit of a loss. you're going to play and it's definitely going to go badly. So I thought that when I played Strange Horticulture for the first time, but I think it just takes like a little bit of getting used to, and it doesn't punish you too much for getting things wrong. Like, you just have to complete a puzzle and then it just brings you back to basically where you got things wrong. I know that I won't ever see anything again, but is there anything in your collection that might help me paint again? I feel a little foolish for asking. It seems such a small thing, but to me it means everything. So she wants either an Ares remnant or a spirit eye. These objects induce a form of synesthesia where colours and tones, light and shadow can be felt through touch. They are sometimes used by those who work in low light conditions, such as miners. The gemstones in an Ares remnant are arranged in the shape of the constellation that shares its name. So that's one thing we could do. The other one was a spirit eye. There are some who stay away from spirit eyes, believing them to be a window into a world that should not be seen, and others who deride their fear as nothing more than superstition. It is not clear exactly what they do show, another layer beneath the visible world perhaps, a layer that requires something more than the traditional senses to experience. They draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. Okay, I think I'm going to give her the Ares remnant because I think it's safer. But whether we have one of those is another question. This would be it. The gemstones are like in the sign of Aries. If we look at this, the line that goes up, I'm going to give her that. Clarence Hawker. Those ravens have done for 3 more poor buggers. 2 of them up at Calgarth and another fella a fisherman. People are getting a bit panicky around here. Nothing natural about folk turning up with eyes all black like that. And now this fog too. With the nights drawing in and me working late, I refused to walk down Holbrook Road without so much as a lantern. I had something nice and bright in mind. A sun bond. A sun bond is small and lightweight, designed to be carried discreetly and made of a non-precious metal of some kind, housing a gemstone of light. They carry the warmth and the light of the sun, a brightness that can pierce the darkest gloom. An orange gemstone, bronze, feels warm. So it said they carry the warmth and the light of the sun. There we go. Oh, another new person. The priest, Audrey Bell. She looks like an evil priest. I'm just going to say, if I went to church and she was there, I would walk straight back out again. Followers of the warrior god Holgar are not easy to come by, but they make up for their low numbers with zeal and grandiosity. Their priests have all the self-appointed authority of a village fete organizer, and the power struggles between clergy and acolyte are as bitter and hard-fought as many a debate about bunting or cake stands. Audrey has strong opinions about death and the afterlife, perhaps forgetting that the god she follows is best known for sending thousands of people reluctantly to it, but had very little to say about its substance. Bend your ear to the trees, hold your palm out to the wind, the ravens can feel it. Can you? Something is stirring. I will need a Holgan Grim in the coming days. These eerie creations are worn by priests of Holger in various rituals relating to death and the afterlife. The sacrament to ask for his protection, Wolfsong's truth to seek his judgment, path of the warrior to help the dead find their way. Great. Another really cryptic clue. So, protection, truth, and death, maybe? Oh god, this one is confusing me so much already. This is just protection and something else. Insanity. So it's not going to be that. All that. Not going to be that. I'm pretty sure that meant like heat and cold. Not gonna be that. The sacrament to ask for his protection. Let's look at gemstones. Thanks for lurking, Kalate. I appreciate it. I don't think it's going to be gemstones. Eerie creation, so it's got to be something like weird. This is the only thing I can think of. It has the protection symbol on it, but then also the symbol of insanity, so... I'm gonna go with my gut feeling. I was wrong. These eerie creations are worn by priests of Holgar in various rituals related to death and the afterlife. This might be one I asked for a hint on, because I am officially stumped. We haven't used one in a while. I'm looking for an eerie item. Well, this is eerie, but I don't see anything on it that, like... Huge black gemstone streaked with red. The sketch shows a priest with their back to me, but if they are wearing a Holgan Grim, perhaps there is a clue there. Oh, is he wearing this? If you see, he's wearing like a horned item, right? Yeah, there we go. Using the index, we can find a sketch of Holgar, to whom the mask bears a striking resemblance. The gemstone is Vivianite, a stone of death. So we've really got to start looking at like different aspects now. So not just the runes, but the gemstones as well. Like this got super complicated super quickly. Inside was the reason they had toiled so hard, a small black casket, a very valuable small black casket. They knew enough not to open it, but perhaps too little to fully understand the danger it posed. That is a set of stairs. Up the stairs, left, then left again. Second on the right is where I spend each night. Let's go exploring. So up the stairs. Left. Oh. Up the stairs. Up the stairs. So going up the stairs would lead us here. Left, left. Yeah, so you go up the stairs, which would bring us here, right? Go left, then left again. Second on the right is where I spend each night. No, this is the first floor here, first. So you go up the stairs, which would bring you to the first floor. Ground floor's here, first floor's here. Up the stairs, left, then left again. Second on the right is where I spend each night. Unless I'm looking at this the wrong way. Up the stairs, left and left again. So we've gone up the stairs. We turn left. Then left again, second on the right. Nope. Okay, apparently that was it. The bedroom looks like it hasn't been used for some time. A thin layer of dust coats the furnishings and cobwebs decorate every corner. Pulling back the thin curtains lets some light in, but more importantly they reveal a macabre item that has been hiding on the windowsill all this time. Oh, I forgot that that item even existed. Helena Appleton. I can never get any peace in my house. When am I to find time to do my writing? I've tried beeswax, but that makes my ears sore. Oh, and I see that Lindsay also redeemed Stretch. Thank you, Lindsay. I didn't see that. No worries, Sassy. I've tried beeswax, but that makes my ears sore, and besides, I can still hear the shouting and banging at all hours.
Happy first day back, JT3 love.
Ah, thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That's very, very sweet. I appreciate it. It's good to be back. It feels good to be back. I heard you might be able to help me. So she wants St. John's Anvil. These items have much in common with the St. John's poppy plant of the same name, a fact that is reflected in their designs. They have quite different uses, however. Whereas a plant helps to overcome deafness, an anvil will dampen sound. They can even be tuned to filter out certain noises, but allow others to be heard still. So something makes me think it's going to be around the leaves, potentially. So this looks like the leaves of a St. John's. I think that's the only thing we have, or potentially this. Nothing to remark on sound. Sounds are muffled in its presence. Gotta be that. Yes. Worn as a pen that to dispel melancholy. La la la. Add that to the book. Barton Potter. The Relic Hunter. Intelligent, affable, heroic. These are the words that Barton Potter would use to describe himself. Irresponsible, impulsive, and foolhardy are some of the more tasteful terms that those who have dealt with him might use. One thing is not in dispute. He knows how to track down objects, and he certainly knows their worth. He's also no coward, and he bears the scars to prove it. Here's one of few who have ventured into the depths of the catacombs and lived to tell the tale, and tell the tale he does at the slightest provocation. You must be the thaumaturge's apprentice. I bet he's a hard man to work under. He's helped me out more than once in the past, though. And speaking of the past, my eye has been aching again lately. That can't be a good sign. I'd be willing to make a fair trade for an Elverstone if you have one. Elverstones can be used to relieve the discomfort caused by otherwise incurable ailments such as Braxis or burning blood. The planetary metal used in these items is associated with the Selenic discipline, a connection that was also reflected in their design. Planetary metal. So it's going to be copper, gold, iron, lead, quicksilver, silver, or tin. Braxis or burning blood. So this is silver. It has an ethereal quality to it. Let's try this. Yeah. And we got a new item too. And we're slowly running out of space to put all this stuff. Verona Green is back. I've been doing some reading. See what you make of this. Some new papers for my book. That fisherman they found yesterday had been up at Wyatt Beck, so I'm going to see if I can find anything out there. Here I go again, sticking my nose into trouble because I don't seem to be able to listen to that part of me that says, go put the kettle on and let someone else deal with it for a change. It's a bloody-minded arrogance to follow that thought up with, but there isn't anyone else, but here we are and here I am. They do it all wrong anyway. Francis Mason. I've been wearing a pendant that I found in the library and it does something to me. It gives me an appetite for reading that I cannot control. I was lost in the library for 3 days without eating or sleeping before I managed to take the pendant off and escape. It is rather pretty though. Someone told me I need a Cussick purifier and that this is a place to get one. A small topaz gemstone known as the Eye is placed in a strong smelling liquid, usually some potent barley spirit or vinegar. Small tokens such as rings or amulets perhaps, submerged in the liquid and left for a full cycle of the moon, are cleansed of simple imbued curses or hexes. Of course, there is a limit to the effectiveness of this process. I'm going to go with that immediately. Simone Green. So we've met everyone bar one person now. She's a librarian. Simone finished reorganizing the Ambleside Library and came to Undermere in search of a new challenge. She took up swimming in the lake after hearing about the health benefits of cold water, but soon found out that she preferred the health benefits of a warm blanket, a roaring fire, and a good book. She manages the collections at the Wordsworth Library, following in her mother's footsteps by taking a special interest in occult writings. I've been working on something that you might find interesting. Did you know that nobody knows who built Strange Antiquities? It's very old, perhaps the oldest building in Undermere according to some accounts. Even Eli doesn't know all of its secrets. I've been decoding a journal that he found. It's slow work, but I've made a bit of a breakthrough recently. Have you discovered the plinths below the counter? I have learned that they can be used to access the shop's hidden depths, and this journal holds some of the keys. Here's something I discovered late last night. See what you make of it. Okay. Alcove key, horn shackle evercant, and then a moon something. The writing is dense and spidery, so it's not always easy to decipher. Okay, so we know that we have the horn shackle, because that's that. The evercant is... we've definitely had one of those too. Yep. And a moon something. Moonstone Guardian, maybe? For the banishment of Hobbs' fear and Noctic sight, these tend to take the form of a comforting guardian. So it's not that. A moon something. That might be something for next week. Jim Wolfe. After years of working in a thundering mill, I'm afraid I'm quite deaf now. I've tried St. John's Poppy, but I'm looking for a more permanent solution. I would love to be able to hear my niece's laughter. Hearing charm. A simple trinket that amplifies sounds. While generally used by the hard of hearing, they are a curiosity that can be enjoyed by young and old alike. And of course they have more devious applications too, making it possible to eavesdrop on private conversations. Hearing charms take the form of animals known for their hearing. So I would say it would be the bat or... yes, that, the bat. And that's the end of the day, and that is where we're going to leave this stream for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. If you're over on YouTube, don't forget to like the video and also consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're over on Twitch, don't forget to hit follow. That'd be very much appreciated. I will be streaming again tomorrow, and we're going to be checking out a brand new game from a solo developer called The Home County. So I look forward to seeing you all then.